is something like my first video in weeks since around Memorial Day. On June 1st, T-Mobile really did follow through on their claim that they were going to disable my phone service, since I've had an account with them since the year 2000. I've had a cell phone on the same plan with Sprint, because my father could be considered somewhat of a founder of Sprint, because he was working there long before the cell phone service was a thing. And anyways, so myself, because the year I was born, my father had just started working for Sprint, so I could be myself considered like a Sprint product. At that point, though, there was no cell phones. It was more of like a long distance calling thing. Anyways, I have to periodically make video logs or audio logs, or at the very least text journals, and because there's so many subjects and videos that I have to make, that it just piles up in like a backlog, and it just overwhelms me, and I just stop recording altogether, and I'm just trying to think now. Yesterday I had gone back to my College of Music. It's supposed to be like the School of Rock that I recorded, I think 2020, and when reviewing it, I was doing yard work, landscaping, and it really is the most peaceful thing that I can listen to. There's tons of, like, some of my favorite albums I'll have in my headset as I'm doing yard work. Heavy metal music, podcasts sometimes, long speeches, audiobooks. There's tons of things that are good, like, companion for working. And especially because yard work, some of the machinery is so loud. It's like really, really loud. And this headset makes it, at least with the volume booster, it can be audible. So I finally updated it after 2 years, but I'm really kind of amazed. I was amazed I'm trying to think of what song, at what particular point, the tone of the mower running, it's like when it's idling, and then when I hit the throttle and it goes like that, it was completely synchronized with at one point I had to pull my phone out and turn the screen on and make a note there somehow. I'll have to listen to it again. But as far as any type of work, whether it be journaling, playing video games, making a recording, playing video games, or not, this is, not just a radical School of Rock and tutorial. It is really something. Just the sounds of it. And so Day Tripper, that one fits in right now. Let me put that one on. It's heating up. I think if I pull my screen down, it'll show me the yesterday. That's not the you know what, I have to double check that video on. I have to absolutely make sure that and you know what, Jablinski Games YouTube channel, Jack Black's YouTube channel, I hope there's no copy wrong there. That is what I was gonna say. Well, anyways, they did their band, the Pick of Destiny movie, School of Rock movie, Tenacious D, the the greatest song in the world music video. I have to add that to a playlist somewhere. The greatest theme show song is That 70s Show, although I don't like the show itself. I do like Dude, Where's My Car movie. I watched some of the scenes yesterday. It can be purchased for $15 on YouTube. I don't know. It can be rented also for under $5. I'm just trying to think. The movie's from the year 2000. Anyways, Tenacious D did a cover version of Paul McCartney's and the Wings song that I was unfamiliar with, But in the comments, Paul McCartney's official YouTube channel went in and said, like, thanks for, the Redux. Thanks for re-recording the song, making a cover version. And I went in the comments too, and it was like Night at the Roxbury, Emilio's story of that movie. Or when they're talking about 21 Jump Street, and or something like that. I don't know, outside the club, and he was like, Emilio. Anyway, so here right now, this live video, that's when I saw that in my home feed, I said, okay, I'll finally record the video now. That's the 2 videos that I just added at GN. It's kind of like CBS or GBS, or the sports channel. So this is the masterclass part 1 down here that I missed out on. And that was 2 months ago. Although I did watch most of that. It's just a long video voice call. And on this one, I attended the entire thing, and I think I left more comments than anyone else in that chat. Hopefully most of those are on my clipboard. And I was trying to explain what happened yesterday. So that happened 2 days ago. I was trying to yesterday explain it to someone, and it's like the Ivy League of musical theory courses at like any university. I think a lot of people for fine arts, they might take like a theater class or a music class, music theory, and this one here is like the Ivy League. This is like the best of the best right here. Just this video right here. I can't really speak on this one because I don't remember what it was, but definitely this one. And the reason that I have Frankenstein, so here was all from 2020, and this was just very recent. And he has a Facebook group. There's just so much I can say, so let me just have that on in the background while whatever else I was going to do. Go through my my new app. I was so excited to find an app like this. I'll turn the volume down until the Day Tripper part starts. That rhymes. So here's my new app. It's a digital clipboard. The thing is that there's so much I've missed out on of the comments that I've left or thought about leaving copied to my clipboard, because the native application for Samsung, at least in this era, the Raspberry era of Android, Samsung Galaxy S5, the reason they took me off the LTE is because it was on 4G, and they want only 5G phones now, because after T-Mobile purchased Sprint as a company, that sort of means that they had purchased me too, because I'm sort of like a product of Sprint, considering, I know it sounds weird, but considering my father was working for them when I was born. So I have to get a new phone or something. I don't know what's going to happen in the plan that I've had from the year 2000 to 22. That's 22 years of one single phone plan. Okay, I think I had a cell phone before I had a computer. In the entire house, there was no computer here, no internet, and I had a cell phone first because my dad worked for Sprint. And I saved a bunch of money on my car insurance. Geico quote. So it's going to be a ton of random stuff. The only one I pinned is the Cyrillic lettering, trying to learn to speak a new language. That was on June 8th. That was I think the first thing that I'd pinned from my clipboard. It was already pinned on my other clipboard. The first thing that I pasted here, I don't know why it says May 31st, but that was right when I got that, but that was also when I stopped making videos for the most part. And that is, see if I can open it to read the rest. Oh, it was clipped, so it was copy and pasted. It just got moved all the way up. Here's an example of an article that I tried to press and hold and select all and copy to the clipboard, and I could just move on. I won't have to sit there because for some reason my browser lags on some websites reading articles. That was just something. Here's an example of that. So just that link is 100 characters. This one's 12,000 characters. That's the entire article. Because I just wanted parts of it. And I just press hold, select all, instead of copy. It doesn't always show up. Sometimes it does. That was where I found a link to all the chapters over here. So what I've learned from GEN, aka GBS, Beck News, is that each chapter in order, like did I already mention the stuff about Genesis? Ashes to Ashes is where the quote comes from. I had to preserve, taxidermy my yellow jacket yesterday. I feel a lot better today. It was, he showed up during the snowstorm 4 months ago, and I've fed him every other day, food and water, and given him shelter up until yesterday, when I preserved him in 100% raw honey, like in Jurassic Park, the mosquito and tree sap and ember. Anyways, that Ashes to Ashes is in the first chapter, like the song by the band Genesis, That's All, and That's All, or In the End, the Linkin Park song, all similar songs. There's K-Dust, the entire radio station in San Andreas of classic rock. Of course, it's not greater than V-Rock from Vice City. That was the first. That was my introduction to rock music from the year 2002, I think. Anyways, when I started that's why I wanted to learn to play guitar. Each one of these chapters lines up with, in order of the presidents of the United States. So Genesis is George Washington. Sort of the Watergate, the Genesis, because the word is like Virginia. Virgin Mary, Jesus' mother, from the gospel chapters, those are later on. The word, the same origin of the name Jenny or Jan, my mother's name, the same origin of Virginia, or like Maryland is like Virgin Mary. So that's what the Watergate is, the significance of the word. And then, so that would make the second president, Jefferson. That would be Exodus, and it goes all the way down to, I have to figure out what this one is, because that's the King David chapter of the Bible. No president had the name David until Dwight David Eisenhower in the 1950s. So I'll see how that lines up. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Job is important because, for many reasons, that's where we get the word job. It's a new word in the last 100 years. People never said, they would say occupation, career, maybe some other words, but not job. That's a new word to human language, in the English, American language especially. Okay, so here is an entire list of the catalog of video games preserved, because now in 2022 there's literally thousands of new video games every day. Whereas on a Nintendo 64, for example, GoldenEye, 007, James Bond is going to be the greatest overall. There's a lot of great games, but they have about 64 total in the entire catalog of Nintendo 64. Outside of just expansion games like sports games. I'm trying to think. So on Gematria Effect News, a public speaker who's a motivational speaker is writing a book, a children's book. He's in his 20s, late 20s now, and that's why he would make a good student, because people who teach this stuff or learn this stuff when they're not mature enough, there has to be like an age limit on the Gematria Effect of at least 20 years old. I would say about 30 years old was when I learned it, when the main professor, Zachary, and there's other big figures in that community. Daniel Barrent, uh, he was the first, so he's the greatest because he has the first videos on it, on the subject of numerology, symbology, and he's not the most active nor the most well-known. Also, Derek made the website of gematrinator.com, and Chigozi from Ohio. Those are the main 4 teachers, and then since then I would say the fifth would be Simple Truth TV YouTube channel, and about 1 million others now. When I joined in 2017 January, I had to dig back into my Google search history to see when was the first time that I had searched this word gematria on Google, and it was in January 2017. So January 2016 was significant to me personally, because that was when I had a spiritual awakening, finally hit the final step of the 12-step programs of reaching the highest level of seeing the higher power, and then going back down to level 1 and starting over, this time, reaching out to higher power for advice. And it's just been, just doing that over again and again. Step 1 through 12, I only really can tell I don't know, if I really had to sit down and think, I could repeat them, but the 12th step is the most important of reaching the highest level of the understanding the higher power. As I understood that there's although I might be very powerful, there's always going to be a higher power than me. And anyways, I didn't expect to say that, but it's going to take me forever to go through all this stuff. Let me just capture these one at a time, or however many at a time. That's 3. But I would have to click and hold if they're longer, like that when that says ... When it says cut here, that's that's when I'm arranging my native clipboard, not this one. This one is great because I can just copy and paste all day with 0 effort. I don't have to switch over to the memo and paste it in there, or the notepad even. This replaces both the notepad and the memo and the clipboard. This one, because as far as I know, it has no limit of how many clips I can make. And it doesn't take up a whole lot of space either. For example, this video takes up a lot of processing memory, even if it's not being recorded. And just the note file is only, very few bytes and bits. I'm not reading these, I'm just making sure that I capture them all. That's like an audio log there, like an hour's worth. Okay, that's college friends, 2 of my college friends, Facebook accounts. I'm trying to ask my European friend to send them invites to join the Discord, the video gaming Discord. I sort of have the idea that I'm going to watch this video later and be like, wow, I shouldn't have copied that to my clipboard. So, like, for example, if there's a new movie release or something, here's the most recent comments I made in a live chat yesterday. If there's a new movie release, then I don't know. And I don't want to have to like spend the effort to memorize the name of the movie, and I want to block. I want to permanently block from ever seeing it online. I can just click and hold and copy it, because I don't want to have to hear about something 1,000,000 times. Unless it's Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, I definitely and excited to see that. So it's June 11th. That means 12 days from now. The new Beavis and Butthead um, movie's going to be. It doesn't show what the temperature is, so I suppose that's going to be a part one. I'm sure there was probably still more. Uh, Let me just real quick. Hopefully the phone doesn't overload, because Chrome is on the processor. I'll dip on the camera. I can see myself in the reflection anyways. Okay, so the song Godzilla, Blue Oyster Cult, is about this because the movie Godzilla is about this place. I found this place in a video game exploring virtual Hong Kong. Twist Metal 2, the final level's Hong Kong. So there's a place called Kennedy Town, and the opening lines of the song Godzilla, Blue Oyster Cult is with a purposeful grimace and a powerful sound. Well, that's not what it is. It's a purposeful grimace and a terrible sound. A grimace is kind of like a smile, and when he says sound, it sounds like he says smile. So that, I'm just thinking, who has a powerful grimace and a powerful smile? It's JFK. So JFK, the movie Godzilla is about JFK because of this place. In the late 1800s, like JFK, we can't solve all these problems in this century. He was looking forward to the 21st century that we live in now. So, yeah, if I load Google Maps, it's gonna crash my phone. So let me just briefly go over to this stuff. So hopefully I won't have to repeat it again. So Alan Jaffe, born Abraham Jaffe, Hans Solomon, he is the longest. He just turned 101 in March, and so there wasn't even one. He has the world record. He's the career he's greater than Stan Lee. My English teacher tried to test me in junior high. Thanks a lot, Professor Stuttering Stan Lee. Next semester, I turn 35. That's a quote from Eminem, My Name Is. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, there's only one single issue of Mad Magazine from 64 to 2013 without new material from Jaffe. So I'm always trying to have new material. There was no choice. It just sort of happens. Since my college years, I don't try to ever say the same thing twice, and I don't try to repeat what someone else has said without putting my own personal spin on it. And so what I learned from the music course 2 days ago was Nirvana's biggest well-known song was taken from Blue Oyster Cult, most well known for the Cowbell song. It looks really similar in text form to Campbell, my mother's maiden name and my grandfather's given name, George Campbell. Okay, so Campbell is a Scottish clan. They rival the Donald clan, and so I'm trying to find out what the Don David Jaffe's clan is. He asked me why am I here. I've been in his Discord and his YouTube live chats for 4 months, since February, since I found his article on Mad Magazine's rival website, cracked.com. They wrote an article about him, and so I started following him then, and I only expected to just send a few emails and just be done. That was 4 months ago, and I'm still here now. And the reason is because I'm most interested. I found his memorial remembrance video of his father, Ralph Jaffe, who was born in the 1920s, 100 years ago. And although that makes the Don David Jaffe seem really old, it doesn't, because he was born so far into Ralph, the late great Papa Jaffe, Ralph's life. In, I think he must have been 50 years old or something. And that's similar to not Thomas Jefferson, but James Madison, like the 5th president of the United States, still has a grandson who's alive today. It's like a Ripley's Believe It or Not sort of thing. And so he has a similar thing going on here. Is most of the information that I know is from what he says, from his memorial video of his father and everything. So most admire his father, but because he's not here, because he's no longer with us, Papa Jaffe. So now I'm here, whatever, just over here at David Jaffe's Discord and everything else. GW, that's sort of like George H.W. or George G.W. George Washington, George W. Bush, GW, and then HW. I can't think of the H. Anyway, so whatever comes first, even if it was conceived first, maybe God of War style of game was conceived before Twisted Metal, but because Twisted Metal came first, it's always going to be greater than whatever came after it. And his first video game, the Don's first video game, was actually Mickey Mania on the Super Nintendo. So that makes that greater than Twisted Metal. And this video game right here is being made into a TV show right now. As far as, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago. This high school, I found out from watching a stream that Monica Geller, aka Courtney Cox from Friends, and she was in Scream. She was David Arquette's girlfriend. She was the reporter character, Courtney Cox, in Scream. Of course, scary movies much better to watch, but it's not going to be greater than Scream, the Harvey Weinstein movie, whatever. And or at least Dimension Films was his. He and his brother's company, the Weinstein brothers. Long story short, a lot of the stuff that we're talking about, we mostly talk about video games, sometimes talk about movies, but there's a movie about Harvey Weinstein from the 90s, and that's a well-known movie. It's called Overnight. It's a documentary about how people found out the movie was being made, whatever movie that was, and it really affected the filmmaking process because people found out about it. I think it was filmed in Canada. I don't know, but the documentary is called Overnight, and it's about Harvey Weinstein producing this movie of a new director, and people had found out about it. There were leaks, and it really affected the making of it. So I can't think of the name of the movie right now. It has a cult following. Okay, so that's just some information here from Wikipedia, but I'm gonna see. Okay, I'm gonna go to this high school because in the era of this, when Courtney Cox graduated and David Jaffe graduated, there was no Facebook. So classmates.com has a lot of these older yearbooks, so we can find. The only person I've done research on, only celebrity, is Kurt Cobain's high school class. I found his yearbook, found his pictures in there, and I wanted to see how he was presented in the yearbooks of his college, see who were his classmates, and then find their Facebooks now. And I did have that maybe documented somewhere. I don't think it might be, but what I'm trying to have celebrities from the 1990s. What I said yesterday was, let's be real. Every single R-rated, restricted rated video game, mature rated, NC-17, XXX, whatever it be, all those were directed towards millennials because we were the largest demographic at that point and the youngest. It's different now. We're still the largest, but we're not the youngest. So the next generation after millennials is more like Generation X. They're mostly creators, and to have the creators of the 1990s music, movies, well-known people start up a YouTube channel, a Discord, just in the same way, and have memberships, maybe $1 to $5 subscription, monthly subscription, and take some of the market away from people my age who are playing video games and making worthless content. It's, for the most part, just spam. Only people worth replying to in the case of World War III. Alright, Overton, window. It doesn't say, oh, the Spartans, like God of War, look at that. That's something. Recognition, accomplishments, notable graduates. Let's see. Courtney Cox. There she is. And her co-star, Nev Campbell. If you have a fever and the only prescription is more Campbell, Nev Campbell's going to be raving Raven from Twisted Metal Black in the TV show right now. So right here. Cool. So who are these other people? I don't know, just note to self, try to reach out to some of these people and have them start a YouTube channel, a Discord, and they can have memberships of whoever, because each one of these notable people has a following, and they most likely have an Instagram, but even Instagram and Twitter have a membership features of like $1 to $5 a month subscription for, interesting material. So that is all for now.